34. Genesis chapter 25, verse 29 to 34. And Jacob saw the pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. And Esau said to Jacob, Feed me, I pray thee, with the same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. And Jacob said, Sell me this day thy birthright. And Esau said, Behold, I am at the point to die, and what profit shall this birthright do to me? And Jacob said, Swear to me this day. And he sware unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of letter, and he did eat and drink, and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. Beloved, in Christendom, despising or denying of one's right is not allowed. The scriptures never encourages it. The scriptures never encourages it. Those of you that despise your birthright, family right, citizen right, community right, right to education, right to freedom of speech, we pay dearly for it in the nearest future. Beloved, the testimony of how Esau despised his birthright and sold it to Jacob is an abomination in the kingdom. Brethren, in your own interest, you are not expected to sell your right as Esau did if you desire to be remembered for good. To many of us, Esau will be considered as a fool. To many of us, Esau is a fool. But a lot of us have done worse than what he did. Many of us, we sold our right to the politician many years ago, and we are paying bitterly for it now. Of course, many of you casted your vote for the wrong candidate because he or she offers you money, clothes, rice. If you call Esau fool for selling his birthright, then should we call you compound fool for selling your future and many generations yet unborn? I pray you will not be named among the fool in Jesus' name. Today's message is what I titled The Sales of Birthright. The Sales of Birthright. And the message is divided. The message is divided into 5 points. The message is divided into 5 points. Point number 1 is what I call your right. Your right. Beloved, the right of a fish is to live inside the water. So despising or denying his right will cut his life short. We cut his life short. Also, the right of a bird is to fly on the air. Despising or denying his right will definitely expose him to sudden calamity. As water is important to the fish survivor. So likewise, your right is important to your existence. Your right is important to your existence. Your right shouldn't be denied for any reason under heaven. Your life is bound to be frustrated and cut short when your right is denied. Your life is bound to be frustrated when your right is taken for granted or denied by people who place no value on life and prosperity. Beloved, your right shouldn't be separated from you. It is part and parcel of your being. It is your package for survival on earth. Your right is your package for survival on earth. Just as the snake cannot survive without its shell, you can't survive on earth without your right. In the book of Genesis, before God ever created mankind, He makes provision for their survival. Those provisions were their right. He makes several provisions. He creates heaven and earth. Genesis chapter 1 verse 1. God says you have the right to have a place to dwell. When you are alive, you are to dwell on earth. When you die, heaven, He made provision for your dwelling. God created light. Genesis chapter 1 verse 3. God says you have right to light. He says darkness is not suitable for your survival. He created the firmament. Genesis chapter 1 verse 6 to 8. God says you have right to receive rain dew from firmament. God created the dry land and gathered together waters, and He caused the dry land to bring forth grass, fruit. Genesis chapter 1 verse 9 to 12. God says you have the right to own land, grass and fruit. God created two great lights, sun and the moon, one for the day and the lesser for the night. Genesis chapter 1 verse 16. God says you deserve great light, sun in the day and moon in the night. He says you have right for sun and the moon. God created living creatures, cattle, beasts, fowl, for the benefit of mankind. All what God created for 6 days was our right. He did all for our survival on earth. Brethren, your right is meant to ease your reason for living. Don't ever gamble with it. Point number 2. Point number 2. The daughter of Silovat. The daughters of Silovat. Your right, beloved, your right could be revoked, replaced, and even be truncated if you hold your peace when you ought to speak out. Beloved, your right could be revoked, replaced, and even be truncated if you hold your peace when you ought to speak out. The daughters of Silova, Milak, Noah, Ogla, Micah, Tixa, confronted Moses, Eleazar, the priest, the princes, and all the congregation of Israel, demanding for their right. They are demanding for their right. The daughter of Silova, demanding for their right. Numbers chapter 27. Numbers chapter 27, verse 1 to 8. Numbers chapter 27, verse 1 to 8. Then came the daughters of Silova, the son of Elphah, the son of Gilead, the son of Maki, the son of Manasseh, of the family of Manasseh, the son of Joseph. And though these are the name of his daughter, Milak, Noah, and Ogla, and Micah, and Tixa. And they stood before Moses, and before Eleazar, the priest, and before the princes, and all the congregation, by the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, saying, Our father is dead in the wilderness, and he was not in the company of them that gathered themselves together against the Lord in the company of Korah, but died in his own sin, and had no son. Why should the name of our father be done away from among his family, because he has no son? Give unto us therefore a possession among the brethren of our father. And Moses brought their case before the Lord. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, The daughters of Silova speak right. The daughters of Silova speak right. Thou shalt surely give them a possession of an inheritance among their father's brethren, and thou shalt cause the inheritance of their father to pass unto them. And thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel, saying, If a man die and have no son, then he shall cause his inheritance to pass unto his daughters. Brethren, only God knows how many daughters their fathers died among the children of Israel before daughters of Silova, having no son, and their inheritance were passed to their fathers' brethren only. A lot of people kept quiet, and their rights were taken for granted. Only God knows how many daughters their children, their fathers died. Only God knows how many daughters their fathers died among the children of Israel before daughters of Silova, before daughter of Silova having no son, and their inheritance were passed to their fathers' brethren only. A lot of people just kept quiet, and their rights were truncated. Their right. A lot of people kept quiet, and their right died natural death. They forgot that when their right is died, their lifespan on earth is likely to be cut short. The daughters of Silovat rewrite the law of inheritance in favor of their daughters whose their fathers had no son. The daughters of Silver rewrite the law of an inheritance in favor of daughters whose their late father has no son. They came before Moses, Eleazar the priest, the princes, and the whole congregation of Israel with strong reason why their right should not be denied just because they were women. These women took it upon themselves that the law of inheritance was not fair to women, and they rose up to do something to correct it. Brethren, many laws were made by illiterate fathers and mothers. Many laws that are made by illiterate fathers and mothers need to be reviewed and corrected by we, the educated. A lot of things were not taken into consideration before they came to conclusion of most cases. Many of us are suffering in silence just because the law made many centuries ago made no provision for our basic rights. Imagine a woman was forced in a village to marry her husband's brother just because her husband died a sudden death. Many customs that we are embracing now need to be aborted because they take human rights for granted. In most cases, women are found suffering humiliations by laws made by men who has no regard for them. Beloved, we cannot be operating the precept made many years ago by our late forefathers who hate God with perfect hatred. Many of them were inspired by demon spirit, were inspired by evil spirit to make life unbearable for us who are Christians. Brethren, we need to come out with strong reason why many laws made many years ago by uneducated men need to be reviewed in order to make provision for human rights. Point number 3. The breach of human rights. The breach of human rights. Human beings are made to believe that their rights are their properties. Human beings are made to believe that their rights are their properties and no one can give them human rights. But they forgot that their right could be breached if they mess up. Human right could be breached by God. Human right could be breached by government. Human right could be breached by themselves. Human rights could be breached by yourself. Number 1, by God. We believe that we have right to life, but this is often breached by God. We believe that we have right to life, but this is often breached by God. Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 39. See now that even I am He, and there is no God with me. I kill, and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. Here God says, God says He is sovereign. That is, He has the right to breach your right, whether the right to life, good health, freedom, or speech. God gives you the right, and He can decide to take it whenever He likes. Job chapter 1 verse 21 says, He gives, and He has the audacity to take away the right you have anytime. But whichever way He does is for our good. All things are working for our good as long as we are called according to His purpose. Another one that can breach your right is your government. Government can breach your right. As we all know, the government is set up to cater for human rights, but often time they breach that same right. Sometimes in the process of protecting the interests of the public, government find herself breaching the right of some few set of people in the societies. For instance, we all have right to life, but sometimes the right often taken away by the government. Of course, if government discover that some set of people are making life unbearable for the other public, just set of people's life could be taken. Romans chapter 13 verse 1 to 4. Romans chapter 13 verse 1 to 4 says, Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of God. The powers that be are ordained of God. Whosoever therefore resisted the power resisted the ordinance of God, and they that resist shall receive to themselves damnations. For rulers are not a terror to good work, but to the evil. Will thou then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same. For he is the minister of God to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid, for he beareth not this word in vain. For he is the minister of God, a revenger to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil. Here you could see, beloved, you could see that government could breach your right if you are evildoers. Your right to life, freedom of movement could be breached by government if you mess up. Another one, your rights could be breached by yourself. You could as well breach your right for lack of knowledge and discipline. You could breach your right for lack of knowledge and discipline. Bible says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. For thou that thou should be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God. I also forget thy children. Here God says that the right to life of his own people were breached just because they lack knowledge. Their lack of knowledge make them to take their right to life for granted. Ignorance has made a lot of people to trample their right on the ground. Point number 4. Point number 4. Your right, your life. Your right, your life. The histories recorded so far about fighting for right has shown clearly that a lot of people are fighting a defeated battles. Some are fighting aimlessly, no direction, no tangible reason for what they are fighting for. Of course, many of us have prayed and fasted, yet we have not been given the right we are entitled for many years ago. Isaiah chapter 1, verse 15 to 20. Isaiah chapter 1, verse 15 to 26. And when ye spread forth your hand, I will hide my eyes from you. Yea, when ye make many prayers, I will not hear. Your hands are full of blood. What you make you clean. Put away the evil of your doings from before my eyes. Cease to do evil, learn to do well, seek judgment, relieve the oppressed, judge the fatherless, plead for the widow. Come now, and let us reason together, says the Lord. Though your sins be as scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. Though they are red, they will be red like crimson, it shall be as wool. If ye be willing and obedient, ye shall eat the good of the land. But if ye refuse and rebel, ye shall be devoured with the sword, for the mouth of the Lord has spoken it. Here God is saying that your right are denied because your lifestyle is not worth it. You are demanding for what your lifestyle is never commensurate. Obviously, God says that you have right to good health, prosperity, promotions in your office, long life, protection, fruitfulness, but your lifestyle couldn't deserve it. Brethren, God is saying that your lifestyle needs to be changed. Beloved, God is saying that your hands are full of blood. You have shed blood of innocence, and you are demanding for the right to long life. You can't have it. Of course, God is saying you can't have good health if you don't put away the evil of your doing. You can't. I won't give you. If you pray till tomorrow, you won't have it. You need to put away the evil doing. You are actually entitled for promotion in your office, but you are denying because you never take care of the needy around you. God says you have right to prosperity, but you are not giving because you are stingy. You are doing opposite. You never pay tithe and offering. You never show concerning to the fatherless and the widow. No concern to the fatherless and the widow. You don't expect this. You don't expect to be prosper, even though your right is to prosper. But because you don't show concern to the needy, to the fatherless, the widow, and failure to pay that and offering. Beloved, my beloved sisters, God knows that you are entitled and due for marriage, but your lifestyle isn't chase away man from you. You are due for marriage, but your lifestyle has been the one chasing away the right man from you. Your life comes before your right. Make your life right with God, and your right will follow. Brethren, if you desire the kingdom rights, you are expected to do the following. Pray and wash your hands. If you have shed blood of innocent, make your way clean. Put away evil of your doing.
Number 4.
Learn how to
Point
do
number
well
4 is what I
by
call
studying the word.
spiritual immaturity.
Show concern.
Spiritual immaturity. Brethren, those of you who are not matured spiritually can never cease from betraying God in one way or the other.
2 Chronicles chapter 7
You
verse
can
14.
not meet up to God's expectation
Verse 14 says,
as long as
if
you
my
refuse to
people shall
grow spiritually.
call by my name,
Those of you that God is expecting you to be walking and you are crawling,
my face,
and those of you
from their
who are still walking while God is expecting you to be flying, will never measure up to God's expectation. Brethren, how will a 2 years old boy carrying out the task
the kind of the
of
right
20 years old?
You must
It is practically impossible. Of course, many of God's servants lamented of retarding of growth of their members.
Claiming your right.
They lamented
retarding
of growth of their followers.
You can only
They cry
your right
of their spiritual growth.
With strong reasoning.
They cry
because
of their failures of spiritual growth.
You deserve
Beloved, how will you feel when you have
God will deny you if
a 20 years old boy crawling, speaking and doing things as a 2 years old?
If you don't have reason,
how will you feel? Will you not be disappointed? When you feed a baby for 20 years and he still refuses to grow.
With a strong reason.
His growth is just like the same of that of 2 years old. How will you not say just a baby has betrayed you, has betrayed the love, care, food and effort you invested in him for a good 20 years?
What you desire.
Hebrews chapter 5 verse 11 to 14. Hebrews chapter 5 verse 11 to 14 says, for whom we have many things to say, and heart to be uttered. See, ye are dull of hearing, for the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that won't teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of God, and are become sure as have need of milk, and not of strong milk. For everyone that useth milk is unskillful in the word of righteousness, for he is a baby. But strong milk belongs to them that are of full age, even those who, by reason of use, have their senses exercised to discern both good and evil. Yeah. Apostle Paul lamented bitterly over retarded of growth among Christians. He expresses his sad mourn over some so-called believers who choose to remain the same for many years, who choose to remain dwarf spiritually. They choose to remain dwarf spiritually. They eat as an elephant, and they grow as an ant. They come to church nearly every day and listen to the word of God, and church are still struggling to keep basic principle of the kingdom. And it came to pass, Apostle Paul says, they ought to be teachers, but they are still learners. They ought to be a shepherd, but they are contending to be a sheep. They are contented to be a sheep. They ought to be a worker, but prefer to be an ordinary member in the church. They ought to be a leader, but they chose to be a follower. They ought to be a giver, but they prefer to be a beggar. They ought to be a minister, but they just want people to minister to their needs. And I will deliver thee of those who supposed to partner with God, Assyria, to silence the rage of the devil. Just chose to remain a follower. God is disappointed and betrayed greatly by believers who never grew to maturity. Beloved, God has invested so much in the life of some of us, and we are not yielding profit for Him. He has fed us, but we remain a drop. To that regard, Jesus Christ lamented and said, Matthew chapter 11, verse 16 to 19. Matthew chapter 11, verse 16 to 19. But whereunto shall I liken this generation? It is like unto children sitting in the market and calling unto their fellows, and saying, We have peace unto you, and ye have not danced. We have mourned unto you, and ye have not lamented. For John came neither eating nor drinking, and they say he has a devil. The Son of Man came eating and drinking, and they say, Behold, a man gluttonous and a wild viper, a friend of publicans and sinners, but wisdom is justified of her children. Here Jesus Christ says, He has done all what it takes for you to grow, but you remain a dwarf. things He has mom you have done for your failure for you to grow, but you never lamented. Instead, you are going about complaining of one thing or the other. Brethren, God is tired of those of you people who stay idle in the kingdom due to your failure to grow. You have done so far. You can't condone it anymore. Those reasons. Point number 5. Point number 5 is what I call incomplete obedience. Incomplete obedience. King Hezekiah was incomplete obedience. From the Genesis, that God has shown so much trust and confidence in us. His heart desires. Right from the Genesis, God has shown so much trust and confidence in us. Justified. Whom He created in His image. But we have always betrayed Him. We betrayed His trust and confidence He has in us due to our incomplete obedience. Was justified in His days. Adam and Eve. For instance, Adam and Eve. In Genesis chapter 1 verse 26. Genesis chapter 1 verse 26 says, and God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. Yeah, God hand over the whole earth and everything inside it into the hand of man. He entrusted the whole earth into our hand, and believing that we will not betray Him. He so much as confident in us that He placed the whole universe into our care, but at the end, we fail Him because of our incomplete obedience. In Genesis chapter 2 and Genesis chapter 3, it shown that Adam was first created by God. And of course, he kept to the instruction of God, the do and don't, the do and don't. Don't eat out of the tree of the knowledge of good and how evil, until God gave him wife, Eve. Adam has been faithful to the instruction of God, obeying God in totality. Now, they both betray God because they fail to continue to obey God, to obey His instructions. They both started well with God, but failure to continue to obey His commandment made them to end in worst. Their testimony were cut short because of their incomplete obedience. Their testimony never brings blessing to anyone other than generational curse, death. Brethren, every of your incomplete obedience to God is capable to cut short of your testimony, and it is capable to attract generational curse. Beloved, You need to know this simple truth.
God bless you.